Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Nick of Nick Studios, and let's get right into it. Okay, so today we are going to be going through the card classes, specifically the unique class and territory class. Now, in Doorkeeper, there are several different types of classes. Besides territory and unique, there are also unit and resource. Each class is broken down into its own type and sometimes even subtype. Since we are going over the territory and unique classes today, let's review the field. The field is the primary location of where you're going to be interacting with your enemy and your territories. Your territories are placed in a 3x3 grid with the back row of cards flipped face up and orient that you can read them. Beneath that is the door zone. And beneath the door zone, at the bottom there, we have the zones for the different decks, void, and discard pile. So again, at the top, 3x3 grid is where you place your territories. In the door zone is where you place your 3 different leaders, each with different names. And lastly, we are going to be going over mythics, which are placed in your mythic deck. So if you've watched any of the other videos in this How to Play series, you are likely already pretty familiar with the territory card. But for those of you who haven't, a territory card is the primary source of production in a game of Doorkeeper. Production is important because you need power tokens to play cards. In the upper right corner of the territory, we see the element icon. In this case, the element is aqua. And at the bottom, we see the produce trait, which is a type of effect. The produce trait produces a specified number of specified element power tokens each turn during the production phase. For more details on that, please watch the video P is for production. Each player will have up to 9 different territories that they control, which they will go about conquering throughout the duration of the game. When a territory is conquered, it is flipped face up and oriented in the current orientation that you see on your screen with the name at the top of the card. If it were to be rotated the other way, that would indicate that your opponent controls it, and you certainly don't want that. So that pretty much does it for the territory class. Let's get into the unique class. The first type of card that we're going to cover in the unique class is the lead. And leaders are important because not only do they determine how many actions you have during a turn, but they also determine what sorts of cards you are able to put into your decks. Each leader has a specified color, and a color is one of currently 3 of which you as a doorkeeper can pledge your allegiance to. For more on that, please watch the Primal Lore video. So as you can see on the screen, there is the red, blue, and yellow primas, each of which have their own corresponding elements. As we can see with this example card, Khan is a red card, meaning that you can play fire or pyro and earth or terra element, units, and cards in your deck. So going from top to bottom, we see that a leader has an order count, which determines, again, how many actions you can take during a turn. And beneath that is the little reminder icon showing what elements you can play in your deck. And as a point of clarification, you may have leaders, which are different colors, which will allow you to play different elements. There are advantages and disadvantages to that, which we will be getting into a little bit later in the video. And then after that, at the bottom, we see that this particular leader has 2 different card effects, which are able to be activated at level 4 and level 6. If you want to level up your leader, or as it's called in Doorkeeper, promote, you have to conquer territories on the field. Every time you conquer an unconquered territory, your leader levels up 1 level. And every time you conquer a already conquered territory, your leader still levels up only 1 level, However, your opponent also has to demote one of their leaders. When you conquer a territory, you may choose which leader you wish to promote. Lastly, we have the Mythic card. And as a quick digression, when you play a Mythic, there are some certain rules. So each player is allowed to have a deck of up to 3 Mythics. However, they may only play a specific number of Mythics throughout the game. If you have a fealty of 1, meaning that you only play 1 color in your decks, that includes your Mythic deck, your resource deck, and your unit deck, then you may play 3 of your 3 available Mythics. If you have a fealty of 2, that means you may play 2 of 3 Mythics. And if you have a fealty of 3, that means that you may play 1 of your 3 Mythics. So the advantage of playing multiple different is that you gain access to multiple different strategies during a game. However, you're able to play less Mythic cards. So now that we've hyped up the Mythic card, let's get into it. A Mythic card has several identifiable features which make them pretty similar to unit cards. However, they are vastly superior. As such, there are a couple additional rules with Mythics. You can only have one Mythic of a particular name, for example, Fire Fafnir, Dragon of Dwarven Greed, in your Mythic deck. You could not have any more than one copy of that card. When a Mythic is destroyed, it is in fact not destroyed, but is instead removed from the game, or as it's referred to in Doorkeeper, lost. Each Mythic has a power value listed in the upper left-hand corner, as well as several different direction arrows which indicate where this Mythic is allowed to attack and counter. Beneath the name, we see the summon cost for the Mythic. To summon a Mythic, you may lose cards from the field. Of course, these cards have to be cards that you control. Or you may lose cards from your void. Again, these must be cards in your void. These cards are officially referred to as Mythic materials and are listed in the summon cost bar. Here, we see that Fafnir allows you to lose either 3 fire units or 5 pyro units in order to Mythic summon it. On Mythic cards, as well as unit cards, there are several different skills that a Mythic can have. Please see the skills video for a more complete breakdown. And of course, as with all cards in Doorkeeper, at the bottom we see that Mythics have several different types of effects. Okay. Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Nick of Nick Studios, and let's get right into it. Okay, so today we are going to be going through the card classes, specifically the unique class and territory class. Now in Doorkeeper, there are several different types of